Hey cutie. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hi, hello, welcome. I'm gonna throw my hair up really quick, but I am excited for this video. This video is a collaboration with Jenn from Project Beauty, which I'm super excited about. And we are just gonna be slapping some Valentine's makeup on, hence the hair going up. So I definitely recommend checking out Jenn's channel. She will be linked in the description box. She will be linked in the cards over there. And then at the end of the video, you can click on her face and it'll take you right to her channel. I definitely recommend checking her channel out. She puts a ton of content out there. If you are curious about project pans, reviews, using your makeup, and she does, from what I remember, her projects are a lot more usage-based. She has an enormous collection that she rotates through, and it's very inspiring for someone like me to watch, where I'm really hyper-focused on like hitting pan, using up, finishing, that kind of stuff. It's really refreshing seeing someone use their makeup just to use their makeup. It's all a game of using the makeup anymore. So I've already primed my lids. I have my skincare on. The only thing I don't have on is an SPF, and that's probably because it's 6 in the morning right now. The sun is not out, but this is the palette we're going to be using today. This is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I'm super excited to reach for this. This is something that screams February to me. I mean, look at this color story. Come on, dude. Could we be more February than this? So I'm thinking we're going to go like cooler toned realm in this palette, using like Andy, Groove, and Swing, like kind of this little 6 pan right in that side. Maybe throw in Psychedellic there. Yeah, let's just get some makeup on my face. I guess I should say happy Valentine's Day to anyone that actually cares about Valentine's Day. I know personally, I'm not a big Valentine's Day kind of girly, which is totally fine. It just never was something that I was really hung up about, which is nice because Valentine's Day is expensive for everyone. I mean, going to dinner, buying like a gift, that's expensive. And I mean, Josh is a secret romantic though, so I think he secretly loves Valentine's Day. He will never admit this, but he always is so thoughtful when it comes to like Valentine's Day and like birthdays and stuff. He is so thoughtful. I don't know about you guys, what you guys are doing. Let me know about your Valentine's plans, if you are doing Valentine's, or maybe you're just doing Galentine's, or maybe you just think Valentine's is stupid and you're doing the most anti-Valentine's Day thing possible. Let me know. I would love to know, actually. I think we're not doing anything. We went to Costco this weekend and we spent way too much money at Costco because I saw this TikTok that was like, you think you're going to spend $100 at Costco? No, you're not. You're spending $400 at Costco. And that was exactly what happened. So we spent too much money at Costco this weekend. So we'll be making food at home, which I actually prefer anyway. I'm going to use the shade Groove now. Oh, hello, world. I just went in with Andy up here, and now we're going to go in with Groove. These shades sometimes make my eyes irritated, so I'm hoping today is not one of those days. But we are just going to be grilling some food here, like cooking up here. And when I say we, I mean Josh is probably going to be cooking. We bought some really nice bone-in ribeyes and scallops. So I think we're going to just have like a really romantic date night dinner for at home, which honestly I prefer anymore. So yeah, we're not doing much for Valentine's Day. We did just get back from a trip also. We were in Cancun for 4 days. We were there for 4 days and it was so nice. But man, guys, I lost a bunch of weight on vacation. I got sick as a dog the last couple days. I lost some weight, which was unheard of. I kept joking that it was my vacation weight loss plan, and I did lose weight, which was not fun. I'm going to go in with Opart here, just for like a little bit closer from where that darker purple we just put down is. Yeah, we'll just go from there. But we just got back from Mexico about a week ago, and it was so beautiful. The weather was incredible. I definitely want to go back now. So they hook, line, sunk me. I definitely want to go back and do the same thing, except not get sick this time and actually enjoy a little bit more. But it was a lot of fun. The weather was beautiful. It was like high 70s up to high 80s when we were there. It like the weather started to get warm the day we left, like to like the really high 80s, which would have been my perfect temperature, but that is totally fine. I think Josh liked it more because it was more in like the 70s, low 80s, 70s, which he's not a hot temperature kind of guy. How do opposites attract? How? We missed snorkeling, which was a bummer, but that's because the water was too crazy the day that we ended up going. So it's fine. It wasn't a big deal. I am going to go in with Swing, which is that guy there. And that's going to be kind of my middle shade for this look. It doesn't do much, but you know. Oh yeah, and when we were in Mexico, so we were swimming in the ocean a lot because that's where I want to be all the time, is the ocean. The water was so blue, by the way. I'll post a picture. If you didn't see my my post, I'll post a picture of I didn't take much, but I really was just like in the moment there. But the water was incredible. It was like, no joke, this shade of blue, and like you could see all of the different hues of blue in the water. It was so stunning. The beach was so soft and like super white and fluffy sand. It was just incredible. So there was a day we went on the beach and we're just kind of like swimming around, enjoying the water, and a giant, maybe not giant to anyone's standards, but to me it was a giant fish, jumped out of the water and almost hit Josh in the face. It was really funny. The thing was, I'm not kidding, like this big and like this thick, and it just jumped out of the water. Anything else to say about Mexico though? Not really. The flight was fine. It's like 4 hours from where we live. I just read the whole time. If you want my reading list, I read a lot of inappropriate things. Right now I'm reading the Viciously Yours book. Has anyone else read that? It's it kind of is a love story. I do want to put a little more of Swing, just kind of tapping the center of that out. I am probably going to go in with Psychedellic in the very center of this, just to brighten it up a little bit more, because this is cute, but it's a little dark for 6 in the morning. Once like everything's on, I think it's going to be okay. So let's go with the Wet n Wild glass. Well, let me go get another refill of coffee first, actually. Cheers. All right, guys, I have my Legend of Zelda mug. That's what this is, by the way. If you were curious what this is, it's the Legend of Zelda. Okay, let's start this base makeup. Let's get the show on the road. So, because Valentine's Day, I don't want my skin to look red any more than I want it to look red. So we're going to go with the Glass Correct in green. This just helps cancel out any redness that I might have. I just went to Mexico. I might have a little bit of like a little kiss of a sunburn. I don't. I was very diligent about my sunscreen. But if I have any blemishes that maybe are a little bit red, if my skin is just a little bit more red from the environment, a green color correcting primer isn't going to do like game-changing things when it comes to like color correcting the skin, but it will help neutralize a touch. And I think that that is going to be helpful on Valentine's Day. If I was wearing this actually as a date night and like going out and it's not 6 in the freaking morning, I would put an SPF under this. The one I'm currently using is the La Roche-Posay like fluid one. However, I'm just going to go in with my concealer. Right now I'm using the NARS Eye Brightener, mainly because I did get a little bit of a tan when I was in Mexico, and also because there's not much product left in this. I scooped all the product and mushed it to the center, and I really like this, and it has a little bit of a gold undertone. So again, counteracting any redness that I might have, especially because these puppies look a little more red, like purpley red anymore. I do like a nice like golden yellow tone concealer. And I think you can tell this is a bit darker for like my normal skin tone. It's fine once it's blended out, but I also really like more of a yellow underneath my eyes, again, to cancel out any of those tones that I don't particularly like on my under eyes. I don't go crazy with the concealer anymore. I really just concentrate it in the area. My nose, I have allergies, so I tend to get really pink on my nostrils, so I like to conceal there. I like to conceal the top of my nose as well, because again, blowing my nose, that area does get a little red. The under eyes, I have a blemish on my chin, and then I have a little scar on my cheek from a breakout recently that just needs a little more TLC to cover. So that's all. I don't go crazy anymore. I used to go really hog wild with the concealer and foundation and powder, and I definitely don't like that look anymore as much on me. I find it looks really heavy, and especially on a date night where I'm trying to look just like light, fresh, put together. I'm like, it's not that deep. And maybe if I was not married, it would be a little bit more deep, but we're locked down, baby. It's okay. And even that, it's not like a super full coverage concealer or anything like that. Like, you can still see things, but I do feel like just a little bit more covered. It's not perfect, but it's still a little bit more covered than it was previously. I am going to be using the e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is in the shade Too Fair Light. It's a no project. I just like how this looks on my skin, and especially if I'm not wearing a glowy primer, which, I mean, technically I kind of am, but if this was more of like a pore filling primer or something like that, I do really appreciate a glowy product like this. And that is what I do on my cheeks. I dip in 2.5 times. Well, I like pull it out and dip it in once, if that makes sense. So I use 2 scoops of product essentially. And that's really all the product I really like to wear. Sometimes I'll mix this with a foundation just to give the coverage a little bit up, but for the most part, this is kind of where I like my skin anymore. Just super natural. Doesn't really look like I have a whole lot of coverage, but it does offer a little bit of like evening out on my skin tone. If I was maybe wearing this to the office and then coming home and we were going out for dinner, I would probably layer cream products underneath and then layer my powder products on top. But I don't want to do that today. Either you want more longevity and you can kind of layer things and cocktail them to last longer through the day, or if you're trying to use up some stuff, maybe you got some older things in your collection and you're trying to use them up, don't layer them. Just reapply them later. That's my thought, at least. So that was just a concoction of the, oh my goodness, this is a lot of stuff in here. Laura Mercier translucent blotting powder, blurring powder, something like that. There's a touch of that in here. There is the Makeup Revolution translucent baking powder in here. And then there is the JCat luminizing, like pearl luminizer powder in here. And I like how that looks on my under eyes. Really, that JCat powder is such like a nice pearlescent finish. It kind of reminds me of an Hourglass finishing powder, but a little bit too glowy, which is why I mix it with some other powders to just tamper down the like pearl glow to it, and it gives more of that skin finish rather than a highlighted look. My BarePro by BareMinerals in the shade Fair 15 Warm is my darkest powder foundation right now, so that's what we're going to be using. Yeah, it's my darkest powder foundation. Man, I'm a fair little lady most of the year, I feel like. When we were in Mexico, there was a day where we were like just putzing around the resort looking for a restaurant. We were at an all-inclusive, so we were just like looking around the resort for a place to eat. We go up to this floor that had a couple of restaurants and like the gym and like spa on it. It was the 12th floor. And we run into a worker there, and we're basically like, oh, we're just looking for somewhere to eat, blah, blah, blah. And she looks at Josh and I's legs and goes, you need to work on a tan, actually. And it was so funny. Ma'am, I'm in Mexico trying to accomplish a tan. Thank you. We're just hungry. I am going to go in. This is my, like, a warm bronzer. I'm just trying to, like, expand the pan in this year. Honestly, I've kind of just decided that I'm focusing on this. As I'm a little bit tanner, this fits me a little bit more when I'm a little warmer. So while I have this tan from Mexico, I'm just going to really go into my use on this one. But use whatever bronzer like you like on yourself. If you like a cooler tone bronzer, use a cooler tone bronzer. If you like something dewy, use that. Valentine's Day is about what you like as well as what makes you feel the prettiest. You don't need to do like a crazy smoky eye that you think your date's gonna like. Do your makeup how you want your makeup to be. Do your makeup so you feel beautiful in it. Then I'm going to go in with a glowy blush. So I don't really want to go in with a super outrageous highlight. So I am just going to go in with Miss Mary Luminizer here. She is pretty, like a pretty, not like in your face highlight. She's not super blinding is what I'm looking for. So it's just a really nice sheen on the cheeks rather than like a super blinding glow. And then I will put on something like this. This is the new Fantasy Cosmetica Celestial Lights Highlight Palette. So I can put something like this on top of it, which I might do today. I haven't decided if I want to. I've used this one. That one came cracked and I had to smush it back down. These two are pretty. This is pretty too. This is more of like a pink, a blue, and like a green. Let me put this blush on first because I think the highlights will go on top of this really well. This is a 𝙍𝙬 brand. It's a Japanese brand that my sister-in-law gave me. I have a hard time not wanting to reach for this time of year because that little blush palette is so cute for February. So I really just circle in. I don't really go anywhere in particular. And we're just gonna blush those cheekies up. I do like a pretty pronounced blush, and it's kind of blush draping where I'm just kind of tapping it all over this area. And I think that's really it, apart from wanting to put on an exciting highlight. So let me just swatch these really quick so we can kind of decide together. I have Dancing Lights, Whirlwind, and Dark Star over here. So Dancing Lights, Whirlwind, Dark Star. Dancing Lights, Whirlwind, Dark Star. I think I want to be a little crazy and I want to put the middle one in, which is Whirlwind, which was that darkest pink with the blue reflect. Why do I want to do that one? I don't know, but that's the one I really want to use. So very lightly, I'm going to just tap it in. Do 2 taps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so pretty. It's not super noticeable, but I don't know if you can tell when I turn my head, there's a little bit of that like blue UV kind of shift to the cheeks now. I love that so much. I am going to take a little bit of that and just kind of tap it lightly on top of my lid. So I took a tiny bit of that. There's no mirror in this. Why am I holding that up like there is? And then, yeah, that's exactly what I feel like this look was missing. It needed a little more pizzazz. Okay, I think that this is now my new favorite. Man, that is so pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with how that looks on top of this. I think this is going to be a perfect palette actually to pair it with Retro Now. This is going to be so pretty paired with so many things. I really think that that kicked this look up so much. Ooh, I'm excited. And let's do the lower lash line now, because that's what really is missing from this, in my opinion. If I wanted to use everything in this little 6, I have to use that guy, but I don't want to use that yet. No, I do. I lied. I want to use that. That's Nude Mauve right down there. We'll use that on the lower lash. I do like typically a more grunged out lower lash line than I think most people like. Man, there was one, I worked at BareMinerals for a while, many years ago, and there was a worker there who told me that my eye shape didn't look good with eyeshadow on the underneath. So I was afraid to wear it for years, and coming back and just kind of really embracing how I like my makeup, which is to grunge out my lower lash line like that, and like really just leaning into it, really has done a good number on my happiness. All that to say, don't listen, like if you like something a certain way, don't listen to someone else's opinion. That was years ago. I've mentioned it in a video before, and that thought still haunts me because, like, rude. Just rude of you. And then out of the retro palette again, I'm going to take Jude, which is the top middle shade. Maybe I should hold it up. It's that shade here. I'm going to put that on like the center, or not the center, the inner lower lash line. Does that make sense? You'll see the placement. You'll see the placement. Also, does anyone else hold their mirrors really high up when they're doing their makeup? Because, man, I do this all the time when I'm doing my lower lash line. I always hold the mirror up super high. And I find that it helps me with my lower lash line a little more because I'm really looking up. So I get more space, like my lashes on my lower lash line are lifted up a bit more. So I can really get the placement that I want. If you're struggling with like grunging out your lower lash line, try this. Like, try holding your mirror up as if you were taking a MySpace selfie from the 2010s. I'm super happy about this. Jen, I'm really happy that we're doing a collab, but I'm sorry I wasn't talking that much and I just talked about my trips. Sorry. Psychedellic is the next one. I'm going to just throw that on my inner corner. And that way we'll have used 8 shades in this palette in one look, which is... If you're looking for tips on how to use more shades in a look, just layer the heck out of things. That is all I do. Just layer, 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 and you'll use your collection sure enough. Sometimes I'll do this where I'll put my inner corner, which is a super bright shade, and then I put whatever shade kind of transformed the lid on top of it. So it still has the lightness that the inner corner shade had, but then has like the color flip that this kind of thing added. And it's still super bright, but just looks a little bit more uniform with the look now. And I think I just want to throw a lip oil on, which is the Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the ancient one. It's a really dark purple. I think it would look really pretty with this, but I do want to throw a lip on real quick. This is just the Essence Rosy Nude 8-Hour Lip Pencil, which I don't really love this, but I just kind of wanted something to line my lips. It's just not like a color I love. But because I'm putting a lip oil that I like on top of it, or at least I hope I like it. I haven't tried this color yet, but I really like the formula of these, which is why I bought the other colors. If you were curious if a Getting Sent PR made me buy the actual product, yes, this is one of them. So I received 2 of these in PR, and then I bought the remaining colors. Oh, and it smells, this one smells like grape or something. This one might be my favorite scented one. I love grape scented things. And I think that looks really pretty with this, actually. So this is my finished date night look. This is definitely something that I can see myself wearing on a date night, whether we're going out somewhere. If I'm just staying at home, I would feel absolutely beautiful in this. I actually do feel beautiful in this. I know there was a little bit of hesitancy when, like, how deep the shade was, or like how deep the eye look was, but I think honestly it's kind of pulled all together. I could wear this to the office and feel really pretty. I'm going to look at it less like from a down angle. Yeah, I feel like I could wear this to the office and I would just look really put together. It does not look super dark when I'm looking at it more head on. When I'm looking at it down at my mirror that I get ready in, it looks a little dark, but like kind of head on, it looks fine. But yeah, this is my date night look using my Natasha Denona retro palette and a lot of date night staple kind of items. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You'll have to let me know if you guys are doing a date night for Valentine's Day. Are you doing Galentine's Day? Are you just doing something with friends? Let me know. Are you anti-Valentine's Day and then just going to shop chocolate tomorrow? Let me know. That's my favorite time of year to hunker down and buy chocolate is tomorrow, February 15th, where everything's half off. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Jen's channel. She'll be like posted on the very end of this video in the description, and she was in the cards. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're staying healthy, sane, and safe and having a great Valentine's Day. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.